What's going on, everybody? This is AJ Capasso here with Talking with the Source. I'm here with my great friend and co-host
Jonathan Keyword, JK47 Paranormal, baby.
Watch out, watch out. Want to give a shout out real quick to your podcast, man. Targeting with JK47. You want to check it out. He's doing cold cases where he's connecting with the spirits of these cold cases, these victims, and he's doing amazing work. I mean, the connection that he has is absolutely awesome. I'm proud of you, man, and keep up the good work.
Couldn't have done it without you, brother.
Thanks,
you're
man.
my source. That's why we're talking with the source.
Even though it was that way.
We're talking with the source.
There you go. Real quick, I want to shout out a great business in the Connecticut area. It's one of my great friend's sons. His name is Michael. It's 203 Detailing. I just want to put it up on the screen real quick. His number is 203-707-7077. He does detailing and paint correction for cars. As you can see some of the pictures of some of the before and after that he's done. He does great work. He's a young kid. He's got a lot on his plate. I'm so proud of this kid, the way that he grew up in his life and just the man he's becoming. I'm just super proud of him. So please shout out to the 203 Detailing if you're in the area. 707-7077-203 is the area code. But anyway, we have an awesome guest. Des, I want to say thank you so much for being on. Thank you. And for everyone else that's watching, we have an amazing guest. His name is Edward Keilhack. He is from Windy City Paranormal. I'm going to bring him forth right now. Ed, how you doing, Ed?
Hey.
So tell us, Ed, you just told me in the back, how is the weather out there, brother?
It's cold and rainy.
I figured. Same way.
Yeah.
We got some sun today, but it's been cold and rainy here too, man, in Connecticut. So I feel
hot as hell here, man.
Yeah, we
closest to the sun.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris.
So, Ed, real quick, I want to ask you, what got you into the paranormal? It's normally the first question that I'll ask everybody is, what got you into the paranormal and what got you guys started into Windy City?
Well, I started having a paranormal situation back in 1981.
Oh.
And prior to that, when I was a young boy, somebody be telling a ghost story and stuff like that. Who doesn't like a good ghost story? But
yeah, right.
You think in the back of your head, is there any truth to any of this stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in 1981, I got my answer. Not just once, but like 4 times.
Wow.
Oh, crap.
Yeah. So then that started years and years of just looking to see if anybody else had similar situations and whatnot. And then I saw Ghost Hunters on cable TV. And that was it. I joined a group.
Good old Jason Hawes.
Yep. And joined a group in DuPage County. And then that folded. And from that, we started Windy City Paranormal back in 2008.
That is awesome. So tell me, explain a little bit about the 1981 and the things that you.
Okay, I'll give you the short version of this story. Okay, met a girl at a party. Her boyfriend just dropped her off at this party and went off somewhere else. She didn't know where she was. I made sure she got home. And we exchanged numbers that night, and I figured she's not even going to remember me. Well, to make a long story short, went over there the next day because she called and wasn't in the house more than 10 minutes. And it was just, something's not right here. And it was just getting more and more progressively
active,
aggressive. Like I'm being watched. It was really weird. And I brushed it off to being nervous or something like that.
Yeah, of course.
So months later, became very, very good friends with the family and everything. Well, anyways, so in talking to her, she said she had a younger brother, and I didn't know how much younger, but that he was younger,
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, well, maybe he's hiding somewhere, and that's what I'm feeling, Well,
Yeah.
it was only one place to hide in this room, and it was a big walk-in closet. I opened up the door, and it felt like the temperature went down like 20 degrees as soon
Oh,
as
wow.
I did that. And you ever be in a dark room? I mean, so dark you can't even see your hand in front of your face.
Yeah, we call it Africa dark.
Yeah.
Because in Africa, when it's nighttime, it is pitch
Yeah,
black.
it's dark.
But if somebody's standing right in front of you, you can kind of sense that they're there. That's
Yeah.
what I was. That's what I was feeling as soon as I opened the door.
Yeah.
I could see straight through to the back of the closet.
Wow. See, that's so wild. Now, have you had an experience like what I was going to say, which I thought you were going to say, was have you ever been in a dark room and seen a darker shadow in the room where you can't see your hand in front of your face? Have you ever seen that before too?
No, I've
Oh,
not. I've never seen that.
That's freaky to see a shadow person like that. That's real freaky. So if you ever see that, definitely let me know.
Yeah. Well, this story ends with a shadow figure, but anyways,
Okay.
Became very good friends with the family. Was over there all the time, and the second time we were watching Doctor Who on Sunday nights.
Yeah.
And I had never heard of Doctor Who, and they're like,
Really?
"You're gonna love it."
Oh man, I grew up on Doctor Who.
So we're watching, and they had two dogs, Daisy and Bandit, and they ran. They were sleeping right at the floor, by my feet, and the next thing I know, they're running towards the basement door, yelping and scratching and carrying on like there's an animal or something there.
Wow.
So scared the living daylights out of me, because when you think about it, you're sitting there, everything's quiet, and all of a sudden the dogs get up, start carrying on. Startled me to death.
Yeah.
So I get up off the couch to go see what's the matter, and as I'm walking towards them, I see them back up from the door. Their eyes were really wide, with their ears are down, tail between their legs, and they ran past me and hid underneath the couch. So as they run by, I'm watching them. As what in the world's going on here? And then I looked over at the rest of the family, and they're looking at each other like, should we tell them?
Yeah.
And sure enough, after it was all over and everything like that, I sat down. I must have had this really dumbfounded look on my face, because the father came over to me and he says, pretty intense, huh? I said, yeah, what in the world was that? He goes, please don't think we're crazy, but the house is haunted. And my reaction to that was, get out of town. No way. I'm a science. All right. I grew up a science guy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That's how I started.
I still am, but I was like, yeah, no, that wasn't even on my radar,
Yeah.
Well, anyways, he went on and on and on about stories that had happened ever since they moved in.
Yeah.
And they did research on the property, and there was a woman who lived there who hung herself in the walk-in closet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So now he had my attention. Something about it just grabbed me right there.
Yeah.
But I wasn't buying it. I was still very skeptical. So he goes, well, I'll tell you what, if you want, you can go ahead and spend a night in the basement. And at that point, I'm thinking, okay, they're playing a real big joke on me. I says, all right, guys, you got me. Come clean now. You know, he goes, no, 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 no. We'll spend it down there with you. So I says, all right, you got yourself a deal.
Yeah.
So it was like the next weekend or something. And I'm a very heavy sleeper, very heavy. And I not only woke up, but I was wide awake instantly. I looked over. They're all present and accounted for. They're asleep. And then I looked over towards the stairwell, and that's where I saw the shadow figure.
Wow.
Maybe 2 seconds, and it bolted up the stairwell. You never seen a big guy like me get up off the floor so quick.
Oh, I bet.
Look up around the stairwell, nothing there.
You know what?
It took all of that to convince me. Yeah, there's something to it.
But you want to know what, though?
Huh?
I said, but you know what, though, is that I don't care how long you've been in this field. When you see something like that, you're going to get freaked out. Like, I don't care who you are. You know what I mean? Like, that is some scary stuff when you see a shadow person because you can't explain it. You know, it's something you can't explain.
Yeah, we don't know exactly what they are or why or anything.
Yeah.
I remember when I saw my first apparition, man, I jetted right instead of towards it. I said, nope, not ready for this. Good night. I went right to bed, man.
Yeah, it is. It was startling. And you never forget it. You never forget it. Yeah. For years and years and years, I'd be thinking about it. And you never forget it. It just doesn't go away.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, Ed. You started your paranormal team earlier in 2008. So when you saw this in 1980s, do you think activity was more active in the 80s and 90s than it is right now?
Well, no, I wouldn't say it's more or less.
Okay.
I would say, you know, it would be pretty consistent. The fact is, a lot of people have to understand that this stuff doesn't happen. You don't see this stuff all the time. It's not as commonplace as a lot of people would make you think.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I've been studying this or investigating this, like I said, since the 1980s. But how do you know it's been consistent? You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, that's what I'm talking about because like the equipment they used as far as the tape recorders, which had bigger magnets in them and stuff, and there's more EMF. Like that's the type of stuff that I think about nowadays is in that quantum kind of realm. You know, is there more electromagnetic field now that draws them in? You know, because of all the cell phones and Wi-Fi, or was it back then because it was older equipment and we had bigger speakers? And that's the type of stuff I think about when I'm sitting on the couch, you know?
Yeah. Well, like I say, it could be, but from my perspective, no. I think it's been pretty,
pretty consistent, huh?
You know what? Yeah. I agree with what you're saying. And the reason why is because nowadays, the only reason why we're seeing so much activity is because nowadays everyone has a camera. Everyone is into now the paranormal all of a sudden, where back in the 80s, nobody was into it like it is now. I mean, you may be at a really team, you know, so I totally get what you're saying. Now we're just seeing more of it because people are actually getting more into the field. So you're technically right. It probably has been consistent completely, but it's just a matter of now so many people are into it that we're seeing more and more evidence of it.
Right.
I agree. Yeah. More eyes on the scene, more unexplained things to answer questions to, but and you know, there's those jerks that are out there that just want to get famous, you know, and so they'll fake the crap, and it just makes a stain for the people that really want to investigate it.
Yeah, we've been talked to at least a couple times about having our own show. And the deal killer was the only way I would do it is if I decide what's evidence.
Yeah.
I don't want them saying, "Oh, because of ratings, you got to say these dust particles are orbs."
Yeah.
No, I want to decide because I don't want doing anything to destroy our reputation.
Exactly. And that's one of the biggest main things is to the reputation of this field. And that's why when people get into the faking situation, the minute you get caught doing something like that, your reputation's out the
You're
window.
done. You're
Yeah,
done.
it's gone. It's
You're
gone.
done.
Yeah.
And it's not right that people even do it. But one thing I want to get on is I want to get more towards Windy City Paranormal. I want to check out this video evidence for all our viewers right now. So explain the video before we bring it up real quick, a little bit about it if you want to.
Okay. It was my first investigation that I handled from the ground up. I knew the client. They came to me. I did the pre-investigation, had to fill out all the forms, all that stuff, assembled the team, and then scheduled the actual investigation. So we went out there the first night. We didn't get nothing. There was nothing going on.
Yep.
Yeah, but I, in the notes that I take during the pre-investigation, it was mostly affecting the females of the family. And so I didn't have any females on the group that night, that first night we went in.
Yeah.
So the second night, I had a female member of the group be involved. And then that's when we got this video that night. It was the second night we went in.
All right.
And see, that's consistent with me, dude. Every investigation that I did at a person's house, the second night was always the most active, and it just didn't make sense to me. I think that first night they're kind of getting your intentions and stuff. If you're there in good intent, then they're gonna give you a fabulous second night.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
All right. You ready to watch this?
Yeah, let's watch it.
Let's do it.
All right, guys. Just to let you know, turn up your volume. If you got headphones, put them in case there's any evidence. It's only about 3 minutes long, so hang in there and check it out. Okay, here we go.
Is it playing, John?
Yeah, I don't hear anything.
Yeah, I don't hear anything. Hey, John, we can't hear the volume of your screen. John. This is what happens when connections problems come around.
Yeah.
Anyway, what I'm going to have him do, I'm going to have him switch to it. No, listen, don't worry about it. Listen, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to have, did you have your volume on?
Yeah, it says no sound. It's not muted. I can't even get it on. Here it is. Hold on. All right, ready?
Go.
Try it again. Here it's messing with us.
Now there's the female right there. It's the second one she's entering the room. And the camera follows her. Now, what was interesting about this film, first of all, everyone there in that picture is well over arm's length away from the camera, so they didn't hit it. All the cords and everything are taped down to the
camera
floor.
shifted.
Yeah.
Okay, let me go back. Let me see if we can. Oh, I can see it moving. And so it's on a tripod right there.
Yes, locked on a tripod.
Or is it? Okay, so watch this, guys. You'll see the camera shift.
soon as she enters the room.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yeah. So now what's interesting about that is, like I say, it follows the female. And there was no way we
What
couldn't
is that?
What's that?
Yeah, John, listen, you can't
No,
hear us.
I didn't miss.
I know you can't hear us though when that's playing. So just hold on one sec. Let him talk what he's saying. Ed, go ahead. Say what
Yeah.
you're saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
finish your shit.
that's when we started having, that's the only video evidence we have of anything going on in that night. But that's when the whole investigation became more active, when she became involved.
Wow.
And yeah, so it was playful. There wasn't anything malevolent or anything like that. And there was a small boy, I guess, that had died next door to that residence, and that's what we thought it was. That was what was causing the activity, was the spirit of a small boy.
Wow. That's crazy. You would never have thought that neither,
Yeah.
That's wild. Hey, John, since we can't hear the sound on our end when you play it, let's switch
Yeah.
real quick to the pictures.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let me get rid of this here.
Yep. Yeah, I'll take it off screen so you can get it ready. Anyway, Ed, I wanted to ask you, so for these pictures that are coming out, are these for the same investigation or are these something different?
All different investigations.
Okay, so we're going to bring up the first video right now. I'm going to put on the screen. This is the first picture, I mean. Tell us
Okay.
about the first picture here.
Okay, yes. That is South Elgin, Illinois. And the anomaly is in the lower left-hand corner of that window above the sink.
So right
So
here,
you zoom in. Yeah, there you go. Zoom in on it.
zoom in on it.
Yeah.
Hopefully you'll be able to, yeah.
See it? You
Oh,
start
yeah.
to zoom in a little bit more, you'll see it even more. There you
Looks
go.
like a mean face.
Yep. We have not been able to debunk this picture yet.
Now, this is obviously taken with a full spectrum camera. That's the reason why
Yeah.
it's purple. So tell me, what were you sensing in this house?
I didn't take the picture. I was leading the investigation. At this time this picture was taken, I was actually monitoring our infrared cameras.
Okay.
But he said, I got something. He immediately showed me this picture on his digital screen on his camera.
Yeah.
So I immediately went into the kitchen to look at the window to see if, it was something on the window, like matrixing.
Yeah.
The oil from your hands, it collects on it. No, it was perfectly clean.
Yeah.
And I looked outside and there was no footprints in the snow.
Yeah.
So what is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty defined. Like the eyes are evenly spaced.
Yeah.
It's definitely an interesting capture. Yeah.
Now, I got to play devil's advocate with you real quick, Ed, because me
Sure.
personally, I'm not a big believer with pictures. For some reason, I've never been the picture type of person. I do believe that obviously you caught an anomaly. I don't know what it is. I can't explain it. Obviously, something in the full spectrum, full
Right.
spectrum area of the camera, obviously have caught something. So this is pretty awesome to see, man. So thank you for sharing this. Go, John, go to the next one.
Yeah, let me zoom out here. Well, I know you were impressed with your picture at Old Montana State.
Yeah, it was, and that one. I mean, it's shocking. Like, okay, now Ed, talk a lot about this one.
Okay, now I use this. We've debunked this picture, but I use this on how as an example of how sometimes you can get a really interesting picture and it turns out to be nothing. Okay, Now, if you look at this picture again, this is full spectrum. This was a different investigation. It looks like a face right in the foreground of the picture. You have the forehead, then you go down the bridge of the nose and the two eye sockets.
Yeah, it'd
It's
be a
like the
big face. Yeah, it would be a big face if that was, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, but we debunked this. This is the full spectrum equivalent to lens flash.
Okay. Now, one question Misty just asked, if you could pull it up real quick, John. Misty asked, can you get a reflection with a full spectrum camera? If you want to answer
Yes.
that question.
Yes, you can. You can.
Sure.
And as a matter of fact, you can see in this picture an example of it. Way back by the sink,
Yeah.
you see that real bright spot? That's where it's reflecting back.
I see what you mean. Yep. I see.
So we had to, so we had to throw it out. But I used that as an example on how you got to be real careful with this, because if you don't, you could throw something out there. Like I say, it looks interesting, but it's been debunked.
Yep. And that's great that you shared that with us, because a lot of
man.
people just show the evidence part. They don't show a debunked piece of evidence. And it's good that you showed that. But you know what? I want to play devil's advocate with you and say, if this was debunked like this, okay, and this was a lens flash, according to what Misty said, can you get a reflection with full spectrum, which obviously you can. But the question is, what makes you feel that the first picture we saw wasn't a reflection? What makes you feel that way?
Oh, okay. When you see a reflection, you see a bright spot, right?
Exactly. Yes.
You didn't see that in the other picture.
No, you did not. But do you think the picture could be matrixing at all? Do you think that the camera could be matrixing, like the picture itself?
Well, like I said, if it is, you'd be able to see the source of that matrixing. When I went over to the window, it was perfectly clean. I mean, there wasn't, there wasn't an ounce of dirt on it. So what was causing that?
Yeah.
If you don't have the source of the matrixing, there's no matrixing.
No, understandable. Yeah. And it's funny. Misty just said never thought of the sink. I never used photos where there are any windows involved, but now I've learned a sink can cause that as well. Interesting. And like I said, thank you for sharing that with us. It was great to see this piece of debunked evidence, because like I said, we don't get to see a lot of debunked stuff. We get to see a lot of evidence. So I appreciate you sharing this. And I totally agree with you.
I mean, I learned something too, dude. I never thought about it, but if you think about all the chrome that's in a kitchen, with towel holders and oven handles and stuff, it makes sense. And now I know, that could. So I want to look at some of my pictures again to see if there's chrome in the background.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why, see, for me, it's so hard because I do photography, I do video, and it's very hard for me to really take pictures at face value and say, oh my God, this is a paranormal experience or something that you caught on camera, just because of all the, things that I know that can go wrong with a picture and a camera and all that type of stuff being a photographer. But I mean, I tell you what, to see the two differences though, it's awesome, because a lot of people would have thought this was something running in front of your camera. That's what I would have thought. My first.
That's exactly what I thought when I saw it too.
Yeah.
But we don't want to sit there and throw out anything as evidence. And then, once we throw it out there, that's it. We don't look at it. We don't keep trying to, use critical thinking and everything against it. Most people, when they throw stuff out there, that's it.
Yeah. I feel
it. Else to debunk it or whatever. No, we keep trying to debunk it.
Yeah.
I was looking at other pictures that we took on this investigation, and I noticed it happening on the other pictures too. It's just a certain.
You want me to go to the other ones?
No. If you want to switch to that, yeah, we can talk about that. That's fine.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, this is an interesting picture. This is the latest one we took. This was about a year ago. And this was on my patrol route. I do security for a living. And we have a mobile patrol. We go from building to building to check things out. This picture was taken on that route.
Wow.
This picture was taken in the Fulton Market area of Chicago,
Yep.
of in a group of buildings that no longer exist. They tore them down. But as you can see in the back hallway there,
Yeah, I can see there's a wall or a door. There's a solid thing behind this white thing.
Yeah.
And you can see the
shadow,
depth. Yeah.
Shadow figure standing at the back of that hallway.
Yeah, so that's crazy. That's a wild picture. Now wait, now go to the black. Now this is the
same picture that I turned into a negative.
Yep.
In order to establish that this thing has mass.
Wow.
And there you see it. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Now, if it didn't have mass, if there wasn't anything there, you wouldn't see that. It would disappear.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can see on this wall that the shadow of your flashlight is a different color than this deeper black.
Correct.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty crazy catch.
Yeah. And a lot of this, you got to just be at the right place at the right time. Because it doesn't happen on command, you know?
No,
right.
It doesn't.
Yeah, it just happens whenever the conditions are right.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that's the latest picture we got.
Wow.
Yeah, I trust my gut, man. If something's telling me, hey, let's do an EVP session right now, and then surprisingly enough, that's when I get an EVP, or the same with my Polaroid camera. I use a Polaroid, and I'll get some crazy stuff too.
Right.
Now, see, go back to the one. Sorry, not to interrupt you, Ed. Hold on one sec. Go back to the one that's a regular photo, John, of it.
Yeah.
And then zoom in for me.
Okay.
See, now just in this picture alone, like that right there,
like you can see a leg.
Yes, I would say that I see a leg there, definitely 100%. But now my question is, the flashlight and the brightest spot of the flashlight is hitting that. What is that in that room there? Is that an open door? What is that, a door? Because
it's an open door. It's an open door with a walkway that goes back.
Okay. Now, do you think that it could be shining through and making it into that hallway, make it look like that mask? Do you think?
No, because that's stone. That's not really reflective.
Okay. See, I didn't know.
Yeah, it's like concrete, like concrete wall.
Yeah, bricks.
Okay,
like bricks.
Yeah. Okay, makes sense now. Now go to the negative, John, for me. That makes a lot of sense now. So now I understand what you're talking about. See, now that's really weird because that's not the size of what a doorway would be, to be honest. I mean, that's a little hole, like compared to what the rest of it is. So you're right. That black mass has to be something. I mean, I'm not saying it's paranormal. Obviously, I mean, I can't say that because I wasn't there. But obviously, you were there. You witnessed it, and how you felt, and what you witnessed. Obviously, you know better than me do. So,
right. It's just something that like you say, you snapping pictures, at random, and you catch something.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it's just as happenstance as that. Boom.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I caught something.
That's a great concept. That is an awesome.
I've been looking into the paranormal since, like I say, 1981. That's a long time. That's over 40 years.
Yeah.
Okay. And we've got 3 solid pieces of evidence. So 3 pieces of evidence in 40 years. The paranormal is rare.
Yeah.
It's rare. Now there's lots of things that happen that people think are paranormal, and it's not. So
yeah, it's weird. It's weird how it is that spread out and how rare it truly is, especially like cases like you would hear about, like the Indiana case where Zach Baggins and the haunted, that Hell House type thing. With that case with the I forget the name of the people that live there, but that whole thing that happened. I mean, you don't hear anything like that ever It's very random to hear stuff like that. And you know what? For you to admit that over 40 years you've gotten only this much evidence, is a test to your respectability of this field, because you could come out and say, I've gotten 500,000 pieces of evidence in 40 years, but instead you just came out and said, no, listen, out of 40 plus years, I got 3 pieces of evidence that I can say that I know is paranormal, or that is a paranormal experience that I had. And I think that that's awesome, because that shows to your respectability.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Because that's really, when you get down to it, all you have is your reputation.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do anything that would harm the reputation of the group that's been built up for so long.
Yeah.
You don't want it to come, a house of cards.
Yeah. Chris Binder over here trying to start stuff. You see that?
Oh, God damn, man.
Still messed up, man. Still messed up, bringing up Zach Bacon's to you and stuff. See? Oh, man.
Fuck him, man.
But anyway, so Ed, what's your opinion on these TV shows that are out now, especially like Ghost Adventures and all this stuff? What's your opinion on it, being in this for 40-something years?
Well, each one, I like each one.
Yeah.
For a different reason, though. Okay? There are paranormal shows that actually try to show you the paranormal.
Mm-hmm.
Then there are other paranormal shows that are just there for entertainment.
Yeah.
And they focus more on the entertainment part of it than the paranormal part of it. I like them all.
That's good to know. Yeah. I mean, I'm a fan too. I'm a fan too. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love a great ghost story. I love a great investigation and watching someone investigate. I've loved watching Ghost Adventures for over 20 years now. It's been awesome to see 20-something seasons with them. Coming up to 30, it's going to be a great thing to watch and see for a team that started off the way they did. But there's a lot of great shows, like you said, and I do agree with that. And but like you said, there's a lot that's entertainment out there now, and that's the one thing that sucks for us in the field, because it's not all fun and games, and we don't always get evidence like you just showed. You know what I mean? So
yeah, they don't. You brought up an interesting point earlier. I've seen lots of people who shall be nameless say, "Oh, I've been on thousands and thousands and thousands of cases." That what are you, like 900 years old? Because it takes a long time to do a case. You've got the interviews prior to doing the investigation. Then you got all the evidence review and everything like that. And then if you have, let's say, a 5-hour investigation, you got 5 hours of real-time audio and video to go through.
Oh yeah. I
mean, to do one investigation is at least minimum 1 week of evidence review.
Yeah. If you do it right. Yeah.
Yeah. If you do it right. So people, they say, "Oh, I've been on thousands and thousands of investigations." So it's like, come on, man, give me a break. There's no way. You're not old enough to be doing thousands of investigations if you did it properly.
Yeah.
So Ed, what is your go-to tool that you like to use? Obviously, the camera is one that you like to use. What other equipment is your fave?
Oh, I like the digital audio recorders.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, really, in terms to evidence, if you look at frequency of evidence obtained, audio is going to be at the top of the list. You get more EVPs than you do pictures or videos or any type of video evidence.
And now, I was going to ask you, why do you think that is?
That's a good question, and I don't have an answer. That's one of the things that we're trying to answer. I mean, 500 years ago, we didn't know what comets were.
Yeah.
But because people got in there and tried to, investigate and find out what these things are, now we have a better understanding today than we did back then. It's the same thing with this. We just don't know yet.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, it's funny because me and John, we do a lot of spirit communication work, and we do a lot of it at our own home. And in our own home, we do it, and we connect with a lot of spirits that, like John, he connects with cold case victims and has been able to help families out with it, using spirit boxes and stuff like that. And it's weird because we have more communication like that in audio wise than we do visual wise, which is so crazy how you just brought up that point. And it's just like, it doesn't make any sense. It truly doesn't, but maybe it's easier for them. And who knows, you know?
I mean, because what are we dealing with when we're dealing with, let's say a manifestation or something that we think isn't, a spirit or a ghost or anything? We're dealing with energy.
Yes.
Okay. That's all. So, I mean, energy appears, energy disappears, whatever. And that's what's going on here. People, that's one thing that we're leaning towards right now, because what is a ghost? That's a valid question.
Yeah.
What is a ghost? What can it be? So you start theorizing and testing that. It's energy. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what we're leaning towards. It's not something else. It's just energy.
Yeah. No, you're totally right. And I've been saying this for a long time. Like, it's 100% that. And I've gotten it through spirit boxes 1,000 times. They've said it. And, it's crazy because we really don't think about each cell that we have in our body gives off 0.007 of a volt. Each cell gives off that. We have how many trillions of cells? So we're like a walking nuclear power plant. When we die, that energy just doesn't just dissipate. That energy goes somewhere, because as we know through science, energy can't be created nor destroyed, or whatever, however they say, you can't be destroyed or whatever. And it's like, it tells you straight off that, like, we have to go somewhere. This inside of us, this energy has to go somewhere. But where it goes, do we know? No, we don't. So we're trying to find out.
Right, exactly. It's going to take, depending on how much the technology progresses and grows. Who knows? Maybe we can get a major answer in my lifetime, but certainly my lifetime or my kids' kids. By then, as the technology increases, we'll get more answers.
So what does the future hold for Windy City Paranormal?
Okay, well, right now we're streamlining all our processes in terms of how we conduct an investigation. We used to lug around this big 8-camera DVR system.
Yeah,
that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Just the wires alone weigh a ton,
Yeah.
And I'm trying to streamline it to like a body cam situation, like the policemen you wear with the body cams.
Yeah.
And that way you have video and audio on the same file, one unit. That's it.
Yeah, no, a buddy of mine, he does Wantley's World. That's what he wears on investigations. He's just got it right there. He's got a lot of amazing captures just off of that body cam. I think he said he spent like $150, $200 on it. So
yeah, they're like 150 to 200, like you said.
Yeah,
and we have one at my office that we used on patrol. And now it's just sitting in the desk. I'm going to talk to my boss, see if he'll let me buy it. But they have infrared capability, okay? And I was going to look into whether they can be customized for full spectrum.
There you go. Nice, Chris.
He has one too. That would be cool if you could get a full spectrum body cam. That would be cool. I love that.
I'm sure you can manipulate it too and turn it into full spectrum, just like you can with the digital cameras,
Right, exactly. So I go to people a little bit more learned in that than I am.
And, right now I have a hat that has a GoPro mount that I use. I'll mount the GoPro on my hat.
It's use a little creativity on how you're going to carry these capture devices. And who knows, man? You know, a lot of good things happen when you do that.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So I know you said that COVID has kind of messed up a lot of things for you guys. You know, going out. It's
Yeah.
been a couple years now, and you know, it's been stupid how this whole thing has stopped everything. It does
Yeah.
suck. But tell me, do you have any plans in the near future of getting back out there and starting up again? Like, what's the time frame? What are we looking at?
Certainly within the next year, I
Nice.
want to try and start being, you know, more and more active. I mean, at our height before COVID hit, man, we literally were doing 2 investigations a month at least.
Wow.
And our bread and butter has always been the home residents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You and like I say, we had paranormal societies on Twitter
Yep.
that used to give us a lot of our cases because people would say, "Yeah, I need somebody to come in and do one," and then they would feed us our lead, and I
Yeah.
would yeah. So that's down. So now it's just okay. What can we do if we know somebody who happens to mention it? That could start it, you know.
Yep.
But without, you know, that's why within the next year I want to get the website back up so people can contact us directly,
Yeah.
or you know, hopefully paranormal societies will get back up and running too. But they have not made an announcement or anything like that on any cases since July of 2020, 2021.
Okay.
So that's
Well,
right about the start of COVID.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, COVID's messed up a lot of things. Well, I'm glad that you guys should be getting back out there. You know, even myself, I want to get back out there too and start doing a lot more things in the field. But it's so hard because trying to run a podcast and try to work and try to do everything, it becomes a lot. So, you know, having this as a you know, part-time thing for me now again is nice to be able to go out and not have to deal with, you know, all this COVID stuff. You know.
Right. Well, not only that, most people have been stuck in their houses for a year and a half.
Yeah.
So that forces them to figure it out. And it's like, oh, that's nothing I need to be worried about. You know, it's overactive imagination, whatever.
Yeah. Definitely.
85% of everything we've investigated turns out to be something like that. Here's what you thought you saw. This is actually what it was.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But it's that 15%. That's what we live for.
That is right. That is
Yeah.
right. You're absolutely right, my friend. Well, Ed, I wanted to say, man, thank you so much for coming on today and sharing what you did. Honestly, it's been it's been a blessing and it's been just an awesome time. I truly, truly appreciate your time today, man.
Thank you. Thanks
Yeah,
for having me.
I can't thank you enough. You opened my eyes to a whole nother part of the investigation as far as taking pictures. Yeah, and I can't thank you enough for that. That's stuff I never thought about. You know, the chrome or whatever can be on the handle of your oven or the sink, like you were saying. You know, just that reflection can make the world a difference. So thank you for pointing that out, and I'm going to use that going forward. Hope you don't mind.
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, how are we supposed to grow if we don't share information?
Amen.
Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you.
Amen.
So, you know, I mean, I know a lot of people keep that stuff secret, you know, that's fine because other people are going to find that out too and share it. And
Yeah.
we'll all benefit from it.
Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. And that's what this is all about. And especially for this podcast, that's what we're all about. We're all about bringing people on, getting people together, sharing evidence, sharing different ideas, theories, because it can only further our evidence and our investigations down the line. So, you know, we appreciate your time, Ed, and thank you for coming on. And hopefully you can come on again sometime soon with the team and some more.
Anytime, anytime.
Awesome. Well, right before you go, please tell everyone where they can check you guys out at.
Right now we have our email system up. It's windicity.paranormal@yahoo.com.
Awesome.
So if we ever have somebody that needs help in the Chicago area or Illinois, we're going to send them to you.
That's it.
All right.
Absolutely. 100%. Well, Ed, thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate you. Everyone, check out Windy City Paranormal on all social medias, on Facebook, Twitter, on YouTube. Check them out. And Ed, until next time, man, thank you so much for coming on.
Yes.
Thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you, Ed.
Take care, my
All right,
friend. Yeah, man, that was absolutely awesome. So you know what? He opened up a lot of questions. I mean, he opened up a lot of
Yeah.
questions for you. I know for myself. I mean, like I said, I'm still huge skeptical on pictures. That's just me. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate you, man. But you know, like I said, I'm open to it, and I'm open to doing more pictures because obviously I did catch that thing in Montana, and it did intrigue me a lot, and everything that we see on here.
I still can't explain that one, man. I wish I had it pulled up. It's in my hard drive, but it's amazing. It was in the middle of the day, like right when the museum opened. AJ and I were walking the grounds to kind of scope the area out and meet the lady and give her the check for the investigation that night. And it was like right at 11 noonish. It was in this room is sealed. Like the doors are locked. There's nothing in there. And this mist looks like a lady in a nurse's gown from the time that the hospital was there. It's an amazing picture. I'll have to bring it up for next episode. So.
Yeah, definitely. Well, anyway, guys, thank you so much for sticking with us. We really appreciate you. As always, you're watching Talking with the Source. Please follow us on all social media platforms, on YouTube, on all podcast listening platforms, and follow us on the go on Spotify and all that good stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, I am AJ Capasso. I'm with John Keyworth of JK47 Paranormal, and we are Talking with the Source.
Go Broncos!